Thank you for joining me today as we delve into a topic that goes to the very heart of human existence. Satisfy your soul, not the society. In an age defined by constant connectivity, digital validation, and a relentless pursuit of social approval, this phrase carries a weight that is deeply relevant to our lives. When we talk about society, we talk about an intricate web of expectations, judgments, and norms, all of which influence who we are and who we become. Society is a powerful force, and from the time we are born, it begins shaping our values, beliefs, and even our dreams. Society tells us what a good life should look like, the career paths that are worthy, the lifestyle choices that are respectable, the relationships that are ideal, and so much more. There is a collective roadmap that we are often expected to follow. And while some of these expectations may serve us by providing structure or guiding our early decisions, they also come with a hidden cost. That cost is authenticity. Imagine for a moment that life is a journey. As we travel along this path, society often hands us a map, telling us which roads are safest, most admired, or most respected. But what if this map doesn't align with our true destination? What if, in following these socially endorsed paths, we end up somewhere that feels foreign to our innermost selves? The result is a life where we are physically present, yet emotionally absent, a life where we may look successful on the outside but feel deeply disconnected and unfulfilled on the inside. The question then is, why do we choose to follow society's path over our own? Why do we so often ignore our own inner voice in favor of external validation? The answer lies in the comfort of conformity. When we conform to societal expectations, we receive a sense of belonging. We avoid conflict, we gain acceptance, and in many cases we earn admiration. Society often rewards those who follow the established path, who fit into the roles deemed acceptable. It feels safer to stay within these lines, to follow a blueprint that has been laid out for us, especially when deviation might lead to criticism, rejection, or misunderstanding. It is human nature to want to be liked, respected, and embraced by others, and conforming to societal norms often promises these rewards. But this promise comes at a cost. When we prioritize society's approval over our own inner desires, we end up compromising our authenticity. Each time we make a decision solely to please others, we silence our inner voice a little more. We slowly start to lose touch with our own passions, dreams, and values as we mold ourselves to fit into someone else's idea of success. This process is subtle, almost imperceptible at first, but over time it creates a disconnect between who we are and who we think we should be. The more we try to satisfy society, the further we drift from satisfying our own soul. Consider this: how often have we made decisions based on what we thought would impress others, rather than what would bring us joy? Maybe it was choosing a prestigious career path that felt hollow, entering into relationships for appearance's sake, or making lifestyle choices because they fit societal ideals. Many of us do this in the hopes of finding happiness, only to realize that the fulfillment we seek cannot be found in external validation. True satisfaction, the kind that brings peace and contentment, comes from within, from living a life that aligns with our soul's desires, not from chasing society's approval. Satisfying your soul is about honoring your true self, and it begins with self-awareness. It means taking the time to connect with who you are at your core, separate from the roles you play in society. Self-awareness requires us to ask deep questions. What are my passions? What values are truly important to me? What kind of life do I want to lead? This journey of self-discovery can be intimidating because it forces us to confront our true selves, not the version we present to the world, but the version that exists beneath all the masks. This journey also often reveals the sacrifices we've made for the sake of societal approval. Maybe we've put aside creative talents, ignored passions, or suppressed desires because they didn't fit the mold. Reconnecting with these parts of ourselves can be both liberating and painful. We might realize how much of our life we've lived for others, how often we've neglected our own needs, and how far we've drifted from our authentic selves. This realization can be daunting, but it is also the first step toward a life of fulfillment. The decision to satisfy your soul over society is not always easy, and it requires courage. It means facing the possibility of criticism, rejection, and misunderstanding. When we choose to live authentically, we risk standing out. And standing out can be uncomfortable. It might mean pursuing a career that doesn't come with societal prestige, following a path that others don't understand, or making choices that others judge. But remember, a life lived authentically, even if it's misunderstood by others, is infinitely more satisfying than a life lived in pursuit of approval. Living authentically doesn't mean disregarding society altogether or rejecting others' opinions. It means finding a balance, respecting others' views while valuing your own just as much, if not more. When you honor your own voice, you gain a sense of inner strength and resilience. You become more grounded, more self-assured, and less swayed by others' expectations. This sense of self is invaluable, and it's something that no amount of societal approval can give you. To satisfy your soul is to live with integrity, to make choices that align with your true self. This often requires a shift in perspective, from seeking validation outside of ourselves to finding fulfillment within. For some, this shift might mean choosing a creative or unconventional career that brings joy rather than societal approval. For others, it could mean dedicating time to personal growth, choosing to live a simpler life, or focusing on relationships that nourish the soul rather than impress others. Each choice, however small, that aligns with our true self brings us closer to a life that feels meaningful, authentic, and deeply fulfilling. Living for your soul instead of society also has a transformative effect on our relationships. When we are authentic, we attract people who appreciate us for who we are, not for who they want us to be. These connections are more genuine, more supportive, and more enriching. We stop engaging in superficial interactions based on social norms and instead build relationships that are rooted in mutual respect and understanding. This authenticity creates a ripple effect. When we live true to ourselves, we encourage others to do the same. We inspire those around us to embrace their own uniqueness, fostering a culture of acceptance, openness, and individuality. Moreover, when we satisfy our soul, we contribute positively to society in a meaningful way. Imagine a world filled with individuals who pursue their passions, contribute their unique talents, and live with purpose. Such a world would be dynamic, creative, and innovative. Society as a whole benefits when individuals feel empowered to express their true selves. Authenticity drives progress, creativity, and compassion, making the world a richer place for everyone. Satisfying your soul also fosters empathy. When we embrace our own struggles, dreams, and vulnerabilities, we become more compassionate toward others. We recognize that each person has their own path, their own battles, and their own desires. Living authentically allows us to connect with others on a deeper level, not through the lens of judgment or comparison, but through understanding and respect. By being true to ourselves, we become advocates for authenticity, helping to create a world where everyone feels free to live as they are. But the journey towards soul satisfaction isn't always easy. It requires resilience and patience. There will be moments of doubt, setbacks, and times when the pressures to conform feel overwhelming. In these times, self-compassion is crucial. Embracing your journey means accepting that it's okay to take time, to make mistakes, and to grow at your own pace. Be kind to yourself and remember that every step toward authenticity, no matter how small, is a victory. To truly satisfy your soul, it's essential to create space for what matters. This might mean establishing boundaries that protect your time and energy, stepping away from relationships that don't support your growth, or saying no to opportunities that don't align with your values. By making these choices, you clear the path for what truly nourishes your soul, allowing room for passion, peace, and purpose to flourish. Ultimately, living for your soul is a journey, not a destination. It's a continuous process of self-discovery, growth, and alignment. It requires us to let go of the need for constant validation and instead seek fulfillment within. This inner fulfillment is not only deeply rewarding, but also liberates us from the societal pressures that once confined us. In conclusion, I urge each of you to take a moment to reflect on your life. Are you truly living for yourself, or are you living to satisfy others? Remember, the most profound satisfaction does not come from external applause, but from the quiet, unwavering peace of a soul that is at ease. So let us make a commitment today, a commitment to nurture our souls, to pursue our passions, and to honor our true selves. Let's go forth and live a life that feels deeply, authentically ours. In doing so, we will not only enrich our own lives, but also inspire others to find and embrace their unique path. Thank you for being part of this journey, for listening, and for choosing to live a life that satisfies your soul, not the society.